So I'm here at the RWA Dinghy Show with Helena Lucas, and we're going to look at getting a good start. So Helena, why is it important to get a good start?
Good start, obviously, it launches you up the first beat. It gives you options. You can fulfil the strategy that you've decided to take earlier on, and you know, it puts you in that front row, so you're suddenly only battling with maybe, depending on the size of fleet, maybe only sort of 10 boats.
Perfect. Okay. And how important was starting in your gold medal success?
I mean, I think it was really important. I mean, for me, I think that the key thing was I knew I was quick. So it did slightly change the way I started in terms of I decided I didn't need to take the risks. So it's a case of front line, with speed, get into the first shift, and then follow my strategy from there. So again, as I kind of said before, it does just launch you up the racetrack, and you're not fighting it out, you're not getting caught up with other boats. You can just focus on getting your boat going quick and actually fulfilling the strategy that you want and the way you want to go.
Perfect. And you know, if you were to say get the perfect start, how easy is it to actually keep that lead?
I think it really depends on the conditions. So say if it's a left-hand track, you win the pin end and you're first out to the left, there's a good chance you're going to win the race. However, if it's shifty conditions, you know, you win the start, but you miss the first 3-4 shifts, suddenly that advantage that you did have is gone. It certainly makes your life a little bit easier. You're not spending that first quarter of a beat trying to find a clear lane, trying to dodge boats, trying to tack, miss port and starboard. You know, you can actually focus on your strategy. But I think it is a case of depending on what the overall race strategy is up that first beat does actually kind of vary the weighting of the importance of the start.
Yeah. Okay. So say you know you flip the tables, and actually that perfect start wasn't the perfect start. It's actually the worst start you've ever had. You know, how hard is it to actually get back through the fleet and find your way back up the front?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. You know, the start isn't everything, and it is important to remember that. And you can always get back from a bad start. You know, I've certainly won races from the most atrocious starts, you know, I could have possibly had. And I think it's about, you know, okay, I've had a bad start, accepting that and finding the best way to get yourself out of the situation and then back into the strategy that you think is the right way to go up the first beat. And, you know, a lot of it is about kind of just having the right mental attitude and just, you know, you've got it wrong, accept it, you know, quickly try and find yourself a clear lane, go in the right way and just get back into the race.
Yeah, nice. And is there any particular start that really stands out to you as kind of the most memorable you've ever had?
Yeah, I think it was one that I had at the Paralympic Games, and I was clear. I actually thought I was over the line when the second gun goes. There's 2 boats either side of me. I kind of felt I was covered, so I carried on. But I just had the whole way around just frantically kind of trying to control my emotions of don't even think about it, because a little voice is there going, think you're over, think you're over. So I know, just focus, you've got to just focus on the rest of the race, forget about it, it's history. You've made your decision, you're not going back. And I remember the Norwegian guy who'd been next to me went over the finish line first, no hoot. Oh my God, I think I was over. I go over, I get the hoot. It's like, wow. And I remember just starting to laugh and just thinking, I think I've just had my massive piece of luck for the whole regatta. And getting ashore and talking to my coach, and it turned out the 2 boats either side of me, the Norwegian guy and the American guy, both got OCS. And I was like, wow, I must have just been covered, I must have been lucky. And then we look back at the video, and there's a second in it where I keep my bow down, they go bow up a second too early, get over the line, and I'm actually behind the line at start time. So in some ways it is kind of my best start ever in a way, but a little bit too close for comfort, that I definitely did sail the rest of that race with that feeling of, oh my God, I could have just blown quite a big race here.
So it wasn't so much a bit of luck, it was a lot of skill, and that kind of leads
Yeah.
quite nicely on to...
Perfect timing, I
yeah,
think.
absolutely. It leads on to the next one. You know, so obviously apart from yourself and that start, who would you say are the best starters out there at the moment?
Gosh, that's a really tricky one. I mean, is, you know, looking across the board, I mean, I'd say probably one of the classes, you know, obviously excellent at starting, and having actually looked at some video from the games, is the star class. They seem to be, you know, absolutely amazing, that the whole fleet are bang on the line start time. There is no line sag in the middle. I guess if I focus on kind of the 2.4 metre fleet, it's a tricky one. It's kind of the top names normally, like Damien Seguin from France and Thierry. You know, certainly puts in some pretty good starts. But it's amazing how people go through phases. You'll see people at regattas and they're just on fire. They're starting so well, and then you see them at another regatta, and for some reason they just having a bad week, or they've just lost their eye or something, and suddenly their starting's gone out the window. That it definitely sort of chops and changes. And I think if I look back at the Paralympics, certainly Thierry was starting well, and Heiko was as well, and Damien was a little bit high risk, and that actually I think cost him a medal a couple of times. But well, high risk and a couple of starts, which cost him a medal at the end of the day. So yeah, I think it chops and changes a little bit.